In this video, we're going to talk about PolygonPen. So this tool can be found under Mesh, PolygonPen, and also if you can remember the hotkey because it's going to be much faster to access the tool. So if you just click on it, it's not going to do much by default. So there are a couple of options here where you have points, edges, and polygons, which is by default your draw mode. That just simply means, let me just untick this for now. And I'm not sure actually are those default values. So if you have something different, maybe you can match these just for the sake of following the tutorial if you wish. All right, so by default, if you just keep on clicking, you will get this result. So basically we are drawing polygons like so. There are a couple of options here. So again, I'm just going to activate the tool. We have draw mode points, which is the one that we just used. And then we have edges where we actually just draw edges like this. And the way we draw edges, we are just creating more and more polygons like this. Then the final option is, let me just come back, is the polygons. And you're going to get this sort of like cursor with this polygon brush radius of 20 centimeters, which just means that this is going to be the radius of all your polygons. So if you would like to have more of a radius, you're going to need to increase the brush as well, and then you can paint polygons like that. Also maybe worth mentioning, because we are not going to cover every single feature here, that on every tool, once you right click on it, go to show help, you are going to get a very detailed help file regarding that tool and what it can do with all the hotkeys and so on. So we're just going to cover a few basic ones that are interesting for us and the ones that we're probably going to use the most. So let's go into the point mode and let's enable quad strip mode on. So in case it's disabled, you're going to get something like this. So you're not going to get quads, you're going to get one huge polygon. But if this is enabled, you are then going to draw quads, and this is something that we want. So for example, what can we do with that? If we go, let's say, to one of the views and start drawing here something. So for example, I will do something like this. Maybe actually let's go different direction. So let's go something like this, because depending on the direction is also where you're gonna end up drawing your polygons. So let's say we draw 3 polygons and I'm done. I just need to hit escape to confirm. So what we can do here now, we can actually manipulate these polygons without going into any of the modes. You just need to hover over the points. And also what we can do is maybe enable snapping, and let's enable axis snap. So just that we can maybe snap to the points. So let me just see. So now what we can do is we can just move the points without actually going in any of the modes. So let's say I want to move this point here, and I want to move this edge here and this point. So, and just create some sort of shape out of it. So let's say something like this, and this comes here, and let's say this comes here, and this is on top. And basically just moving things around a bit. And let's say maybe like this. All right, so let's say that this will do. So now that we have like this shape that we want, we can also go further and just click on the edge. We can also draw the edges on the inside as well. So I'm just clicking like so and adding multiple new edges, which are giving us new faces. Same thing I can do here on the top. Just click here, and again I just need to click on each of the point. And we can do the same thing here on top, and immediately we have some already shapes formed. So in some situations, this is the way that we're going to use PolygonPen. There are a couple of other options here. So if we just move into the perspective view, so for example, if we hover over it and hold Control, you will see that the icon will change. You can also remove the face. If you hold Control and Shift, you'll be able to move this out based on the normal. If you hover over the edge and hold Control, so for example, now we can just move it up. But if you hold Control, you'll be able to extrude. And if you hold Shift and Control, you'll be able to do this sort of like circle thing. But Control, it's probably going to be the one that we're going to use the most in combination with control on the outside, that we just push more geometry out. Now there's this option that I now mentioned where you can create semicircle. I can also show you some other thing, for example, what we can do with it with a cube. And if we add, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So Cinema 4D by default does not have a tool to create a circle, but there you can, let's say, work around it with the PolygonPen as well. So let's go to PolygonPen settings and enable create semicircle. Now arc subdivisions, this is something that you're going to be able to manipulate through, let me just make this editable. You'll be able to manipulate through left mouse clicks. So let me just demonstrate it. So hover over the edge where you want to have the circle and shift control, and this will give you the option to create this semicircle. Once you're satisfied, you just need to click, and basically once you click on it, don't release the click, just move left and right until you find decent enough subdivisions that you like. So this is now something that it's regarding the topology, and this is something that we're going to cover later, but for now I'm going to stick to subdivision 3. So this is really going to change later depending on the geometry that you have. And from here on we can now create a circle, but please bear one thing in mind, that when you try and create one more point, one more edge here in the middle, you will actually be creating double geometry here. So you can notice that this server face overlaps. So to fix that, there's kind of workaround. You actually need to connect these polygons here to, actually you need to connect these points, and basically this edge will now continue on the other side, but this is something that we're going to talk about in topology later. But now when you add this new edge, then you're going to have a proper setup. And basically what you can do is now the same thing you can do with, let me just see what's going on here. Now you can do another circle on, another semicircle technically on the other side, which then makes a circle. So this is the closest thing that you can get to a circle in Cinema 4D by default, as far as I'm aware. So now from here, what you can do is either select this, and yeah, you can also now use, let's say, scaling, and then you can use move tool to extrude, and basically this is how you create your holes. This is also then another functionality of PolygonPen. Another thing where you're going to use it quite a lot, if this is something that you are going to do, is retopology, where you're going to use PolygonPen with projection results, reproject results on. So this needs to be enabled, and then basically what you can do is you can paint. Let me just actually deselect this, because in order to work you need to actually deselect the object, go to PolygonPen, and then you can start drawing, let's say, points on top here. And this is basically how we would do retopology. So when I'm done, I'll just hit escape, and then I can manipulate this even more, or just hold and extrude, and then create geometry this way. So let me just, again, extrude here, extrude, extrude, and so on. And then maybe also we can do extrusion, let's say here, and then continue. And basically this is then the way how we would create new polygons on top of our, let's say, existing mesh that needs to be retopologized. So basically these are the 3 ways that we are going to use this tool. And like I mentioned, if you wish to know more, if you want to really explore the tool further, you can always check show help here and then see all the possible variations that you can do with it. But like I mentioned, for us and what's important for us, at least in terms of modeling and how far we're going to use it, this is going to be it for now. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and let's continue into the next video.